Okay. I like that answer. So I was just looking through comments here. Nobody can hear me. Is it okay if I record this and then I can stick it on the YouTube channel after? On the YouTube or on the Oh, oh weird. And you can you hear you? Yeah, I think that's the problem because I've got my mic on, but I can't hear. Yeah. Uh, okay. Yeah, or I could drop you a stream link too. That would also work. Perfect. That was super easy. All right. So if anybody on the YouTube is listening to me, um, I'm going to record this and try again and repost it after we're done. So come back in an hour. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Um, I think we should be okay. We touched base on a couple good things here, and there will be a couple things that, well, maybe I don't know. Yeah, good point. Um, all right, there's you and green screening poorly. Dang, that's gonna have to go. Oh, I can't hear you. Hmm.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool.
I'm just gonna adjust that so that it's not doing the thing it does. There, good enough. All right. Oh, and I forgot to hit the don't go live button, so I think we're still live. Awesome. And look, there's still people watching. Technical difficulties for the win. Okay, so recap of what we missed. We were talking about BroBro 420, and you mentioned Kenn token as a utility token. And I was asking about the possibility of a liquidity pair with Shipple.
Yes.
Sounded like some good fun. So I'm excited about that. If we ever wanted to do like some sort of cross community things, what are some ideas for that? What is the BroBro 420 community going to be about?
Basically just that whole like rising tides raises all ships kind of thing. This is a way to tether 420 ships together pretty tightly to more focus on that tide rising. So it's more so for community effort, contribution, support group kind of. I don't want to say like support group, but it would be like a membership support group for people that are either collectors, artists, any way they want to get involved with NFTs, as I've been doing it since 2016, 2017 with NFTs. Recently, the past 2 years, been helping a lot of different people, whether they're collectors or artists or both. Just trying to really narrow down that focus I have on like outreach and where I can focus my energy the most on those 420 members. And then hopefully they can pick, up 420 members as well and keep that going to where now we have a focused vision of support instead of like this kind of like chaotic support group that we kind of have right now. We're just like, hey man, I need help with that, I need help with that. we all just kind of scratch each other's back as we go, but it's not very well organized. And some people feel like, they help more than they get helped. And we want to make sure that everybody is, equal in the community. So just a way to kind of, do that with these memberships. And I think with cross pollination of things, it would be really cool to, like, if people are providing liquidity for Shipple, they can get some Kenn coin. And if you're providing some liquidity for Kenn coin, maybe the Shipple community will airdrop some Shipple. And we can reward each other's communities for those participations. The same way we already reward our communities internally, we could do that externally. And don't even need a lot of permission to do that, right? Like, it's cool, but I could just airdrop a bunch of NFTs to people that are holding anything by Uplift, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I think that is going to be a cool way to see a lot of collaborative efforts come into places saying, hey, if you have this NFT or this currency, since we're all friends, we're going to give you some of our community stuff for holding that community stuff. So I think that's where like that could probably come into play, is just, I airdrop your community some stuff and your community airdrops my community some stuff until it's all just one big community.
I like that. I like that. And focusing on doing good in the real world.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So couple of more cultural questions. One of the big reasons that I wanted to talk to you is because you are clearly somebody in the crypto scene. And I'm trying real hard to understand. I don't know nearly enough about you, but I also don't quite understand the whole. Everybody who is somebody in crypto seems to have a bit of a personality cult following. And I'm not that to me that's the most bizarre business model I can ever think of. So I'm kind of curious about that. Were you very well known before you got into Bitcoin and into the NFT scene?
I mean, I guess online I've always been like a community kind of person. I was pretty active and I guess known in the cell phone repair industry, fixing smartphones, micro soldering, data restoration, software and hardware repair. So I did that for years, and I was pretty active there. I flew to Miami to go to a business to business thing and learned how to do soldering and met a bunch of people in the industry there. Then I kind of got into the adult entertainment industry for a little while, and I was pretty well known in the adult entertainment industry. I went to a few adult expos and conferences and spoke at those as well. So by the time I got into crypto, I was already in like two different very diverse communities. So I was already pretty, familiar with how to engage with community-based, environments. Um, so yeah, before I got into crypto, I was, pretty well known in different things online, but not as well known as I am now in crypto. That's for sure.
Okay, interesting. Do you think that those initial community foundations sort of helped when you got started in crypto, or did that just build independently?
No, for sure. Just from learning how to talk to people and, you know, like being talked to by people a lot of the times. I think when you're just joining a community, people don't realize that the internet's world based, and a lot of the times we read things with an Americanized voice in our heads. Sometimes people can come off rude or mean or arrogant or whatever, and that's just like lost in translation kind of a lot of the times online, especially in text. So I am really grateful that I was in communities active enough to, by the time I got into crypto, which was a worldwide community already by the time I touched in, I was pretty familiar in how to engage with a worldwide audience, not just an Americanized one. And I was pretty, patient and understanding. And I didn't just assume everybody was like a bot or a scammer or whatever, because of the way they type and speak. So I'm pretty grateful for like just having that when I came into the space, because I've seen a lot of people kind of shake people off, or if they see like a Twitter account was made like last week and they already assume like, oh, that's a scam. I'm like, it's not everybody had Twitter their whole life. Like, so I'm just happy, to come into the crypto community with like that unbiased, like get to know everybody as if you wanted them to get to know you mentality.
I like that, and that's also possibly what would make you a little bit more unique. You do seem to want to get to know everybody.
I really do. I love going to conferences. I've been to hundreds of conferences, like a roadie, just to get to meet people and get to know them.
That's kind of fun. So what's in it for you? You go to conferences, you meet people, you get to know them, you talk with people. How does that make your life better? How does that make their lives better?
I guess in a selfish way, I'm going to a lot of these conferences to talk to, the CEOs and thought leaders in the space to hopefully be a mosquito in their ear to get the world to a place I want it to be. Like, as greedy as that is, like what I get out of it is hopefully I had a conversation with somebody at some point, they think about it and they do something, based on that conversation we had. And now like the world is a little bit more the way I would like it to be, whatever that may mean or be is, I've had so many conversations with, the CEOs of different companies, different projects and totally different industries. And I've got to brainstorm with so many, and I've already seen some of the conversations I've had play out in the real world. And that to me is like, I don't need it to be like, um, in a history book for me to be able to like sleep at night knowing like, wow, this one thing happened because of me and that other thing because I said this, or we just, smoked a joint and had a conversation. And next thing you know, this project went this direction. And like, it just feels like, I can kind of hopefully get the world to what I consider to be a better place by being that mosquito in the ear of all the thought leaders and visionaries in this industry. So that's why I go to all the conferences in their ear.
That's kind of fun, and it does seem to be working at least a little bit. Everybody talks about you. So what are your overarching goals? Like how do you make the world a better place? What does that even look like to you?
Just I don't know, try to do whatever I can for the people that reach out that need it. If I see someone that needs help and there's some help that I could offer, that's what I like to do. I volunteer a lot of my time. I haven't had to work in many years, and that's really thanks to the community that supported me, and luckily some of the investments I've made. But I don't have to. I haven't had to do anything for years. Like just sleep in all day. Like that's such a waste of life. So I figure I could volunteer. I have a Calendly, like how you got me on this podcast. I'm pretty open source and readily available to talk to anybody. You don't have to be a CEO or founder or any. I talk to everybody. And that's just again kind of like want the world to kind of go in the direction I want it to go. I mean, if I have the opportunity to steer the universe, I'm not gonna shy away from the helm. And if I can steer it that way with conversations, I'm going to. So yeah, that's kind of that.
Okay, this is interesting. Um, for the rest of us who are not you, what advice would you have if we would like to be slightly more well known?
Ooh,
Maybe
I
I don't need to be the you who gets invited to talk to everybody, but not gonna lie, the whole social media and being out there as an internet person is wildly new to me at least, and I can't be the only one out there who's thinking, well, this is great. How do I be that person?
I never really went into any of this as like, oh, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to get famous. People are going to know. I can reverse engineer the shit out of this though. Like I know what I did and what happened because of it, but it wasn't like thought out. It was sort of like an after a thing. Like, oh, that's what that gets you if you do that.
Yeah.
So my first bit of advice is, if you want to be more known in this space, in this industry with these communities, join them all. Like, don't
Yes.
just have one group of friends and one little shitcoin, that one little community. You're going to want to join all of them. And, support the content creators. When you see, Jen live streaming, be in the comments. You see me live streaming, be in the comments. More well-known like Omar Bam, BTC Kyle, uh, there's I'm trying to think like Wendy O. There's so many of these like big content creators, Miss Teen Crypto. When you're in their live streams talking to the people all across all that, like, to me, that's what I did at first. I was in everybody's live stream chat. There weren't many crypto live streamers at the time in 2016, but I would be in the live stream chat just talking the whole time, mostly just having my own conversations with the chat, ignoring the live stream completely. and kind of having my own little like podcast or whatever in the comments. So I'd recommend doing a lot of that. Engage with the comment section on like YouTube videos of different content creators. Join their Discords and Telegrams of as many different projects and different currencies as you can. And give them all an equal chance to see how interesting they are to you. Because you may not be interested in anything out of the gate, but once you give something some time, maybe you now find yourself interested in 100 projects rather than 1 or 2. So I definitely say that would be like, for me, what was the most beneficial was just being super active, you know, and supportive. Just being present, I think, is like half the battle, right? Like, I feel like that's for everything in life. It's just getting there, being present. So I just say, you know, be present in those and go to as many events as you can, whether, you know, they're local or if you can travel. And if there isn't any, the better thing you could do is host and organize your own event locally. Go to meetups.com, start a meetup, and have people come out to your meetup or go to their meetups if there are meetups in your area. Go to a conference or organize a conference. We're still so early that you could be 2 days into crypto and still get a conference organized in a few months because there's projects out there that, you know, want to engage with these events, and there's just not enough, to be honest. You know, so those are some of the key factors there. The other one is panhandle. My first year in crypto, I was the panhandler. I was knocking on everyone's DMs asking for $1 and a hat and a shout out. You know, can I make a how-to video for you for $5 or whatever? Like, everybody, every company, every project got a DM from me asking for $1 and a shout out. And most of them said no. But the ones that didn't say no, I'm still very close with to this day. And most of the ones that said no then reached back out over time because we started the conversation. And by the next year, when I reached out, we had legacy history of conversating a year ago. So now there's some longevity to this. And I think that's what a lot of people are afraid to hear no, but you're going to get told no a lot, but no's turn into yeses. Nothing turns into nothing.
This is true. I expect to be told no a lot of the time, and because of that, I've ended up talking to some incredible people on the show. So, yeah, you gain nothing by not asking.
Yeah.
Agree with that. I'm curious now about meetups. I wonder if there actually are any in my area. I don't know. I can't possibly be the only person in Saskatchewan interested in crypto projects, but it sometimes feels like it. So
You'd be surprised. I would definitely encourage you to go to meetups.com and just organize a meetup on there and just see what happens. You know, pick a coffee shop, say, you know, coffee's on you or sponsored by Uplift or whatever, right? And people will come out for free coffee to hang out and talk. And I did it in 2016 at the 30th Street Station Terminal in Philadelphia, my first meetup. And I got Tone Vase to come and talk at the train station, which was crazy because he was in the middle of a presentation being asked for $1 by like homeless people. The train announcements were going off on the PA speakers above him. And, you know, looking back at it now, it's like, dude, why did we even try? But I'm happy we did, you know.
Absolutely. You're giving me a lot of interesting ideas, and I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you. If I'm looking here, okay, so I did actually have some questions, some real questions on my list here. I think I hit most of them. Yeah, no, all of this I already talked about. So this is all good. I did ask you a bit about the difference between, say, shitcoins and Bitcoin, and you gave a really good answer that I don't think anybody caught, unfortunately. But let's take it another kind of step forward here. What makes a successful shitcoin? One that somebody's going to talk about, say, 5 years from now.
Whew, a lot. I guess everything starts with the team. You know, it's funny being a Bitcoiner and saying you should probably know who made it, who does what, and we don't know who the hell Satoshi is. But I'd say, you know, the first, you know, successful key to any shitcoin, especially with longevity, is going to be the team. You know, who inspired the foundation, who developed the technology, who works with the support, who are the voluntarists in the community that work with the adoptive end users. All these things really are important. But also, I think the next major key is the community. Whether it's going to be a toxic, hateful filled troll community, we've seen those fizzle out in days, weeks, or months at the most. It does sound very woo woo and hippy dippy, but we've seen the loving, caring, supportive, community based projects have the most longevity. So look at the community, see if their energy aligns with yours, because you're probably going to be spending some time in it if you're going to be throwing some finances at it. I think behind the team, the community, and after the community, I would say utility, right? So the team is very important. That's foundation. The community is mid layer, but that cherry on top is going to be utility. What the hell does this thing do? Why does it do it? How does it do it? I know you could get deeper into, is it scalable and all these other interoperable, but none of that really matters outside the basic. What does it do? I got some Shipple. What does it do? Send it to my friend because my friend wants it. Like, yeah, that's what Doge does. Look where Doge is at. So it doesn't have to be, insane utility that's super complex, but find some utility to it. And if the community is giving it utility, that's utility. So, it doesn't have to be too insane.
I can see that. And I saw a lot of that when Shipple started way back when there was a lot of trading it back and forth. Oh, I like your thing. Have some Shipple. Oh,
yeah.
Good thing in the real world. Good. Have some Shipple.
Well, people in the Shipple community could sell their NFT art for 20% less of USD value if they pay in Shipple, or you could pay the full price in wax or whatever. So now, there's like that type of community-based utility, I think, is really underestimated, especially by like the big investors in this space that, and they've always done that. The big investors have always underestimated the little guys. And this this industry, this exact space where we're at, this is where the little guys win every time. It's not, it's not like a David and Goliath rare occasion. It's every single time the little guy wins here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of getting the hang of this and I like it. So this is fun. There's a note in the comments here. Corey says he'll buy the first 10 coffees at the crypto meeting in Saskatchewan. My response to that is get those COVID numbers down slightly before I go anywhere with people.
I just got over COVID and I wasn't sick, but like I was fine. I could probably have ran on the treadmill every day. Like it was fine, but I couldn't taste or smell. And as of like yesterday, I finally might be at like 25% smell and taste. Like I can barely taste things or smell them, but at least the room can feel like it has a different scent in it when I enter a room now. Otherwise, it was wild.
It's weird when you start eating food and judging it by its texture.
It is. Yeah. It really is.
It's strange.
Yeah. Everything slimy without flavor was just kind of unappealing and off-putting.
Yeah. Yep, sure is.
Yep. I ate a lot of crunchy stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I couldn't taste it. It was like,
variation. Yep.
But COVID sucks. We got to get those numbers down.
Yeah, I would love that. If COVID numbers go down, still nice outside, nice outdoor meetup somewhere, I'd be down for that. So then the other thing I noticed reading various things, I did try to do some homework last night before talking to you. Not necessarily.
You're a better interviewer than me. I've never done my homework.
I figure I have to do at least a little bit, because if you say the same things like every day of the week to 20 different people, you're going to get bored.
I never talk to the same person every day. It's always someone new.
That's true. One of the things that I found on one of your websites was that you're interested in getting no coiners into crypto here. What's your advice for getting a no coiner beyond that half-hour explanation of, so I'm with this crypto startup, to having a crypto wallet, having a token, having an NFT, and kind of just a taste?
A lot of the times I'll just give them something and show them how to use it. So like you'll see people give away Bitcoin and then walk away. Well, that's not really helping.
No, because what do I do
Give
with
some.
that?
Right, exactly. So there's a few different apps out there. Um, Spendin is a good one. It's Spedn. They switched the last two letters like hodl. I don't know why
Yeah.
they didn't just call it spend, but Spendin is a really good app for getting no coiners their first like real taste of crypto, not just holding it but using it. So I can send somebody some Bitcoin and then they can go to GameStop and spend it on a Funko Pop vinyl at GameStop as Bitcoin, which I think is really cool. Or with NFTs, with Wax anyway. I'm not a big fan of many NFT blockchains because of fees and things, and that's really hard for no coiners to come in with. So Wax has a really great way to give away NFTs with a claim link. So a lot of the times I'll send somebody an NFT with a claim link, and it'll show them how to like create an account and log in and all these things just by giving them the free thing. But then I'll also show them how to list it or submit a trade offer with it. So they could try to play around with trading their NFTs without having to sell and buy them, or show them how they can take that free NFT I just gave them listed for sale, and then they can get some cryptocurrency they can take to the market to buy something else that they wanted and repeat that process. And just that hands-on I try to make it visceral. I want people to feel
Yeah.
like they got to use it a lot of the time. So I think to me, like that's the most important part. My favorite wallet is Edge Wallet. It's gives you a username and password, encrypts your private keys. It's the best wallet for a no coiner. Edge Wallet, and then they're done. Like it's so convenient. You could even use gift cards and all kinds of things right from inside the wallet for like Uber Eats.
That's pretty nifty, and that would be appealing to a lot of people I know. Because
Yeah,
that seems to be the biggest barrier is I say uplift and crypto and NFTs and startup, and everyone I know just either stares blankly or runs away.
they need hands-on it.
Yeah,
If you described the technology of a bicycle before people ever saw what it was,
yeah, it wouldn't
they
work.
probably wouldn't be very trusting of sitting on it and use. They've heard about these scraped knees and broken legs and falling. It would scare them. So until they
Yeah,
get on the seat and try and realize when they do scrape their knee, it's not that bad. Like you're going to fuck up in crypto. It's
yep,
inevitable. You're going to lose money. So like only play with what you can afford to lose until you've lost your first bit of money, and then you can bring some more to the table and use that life lesson to not lose this money this time. But it's like college tuition or dues. You're going to play around with this and lose a little. You're going to fall over, but it's
yeah.
the only real way to learn. Nobody's ever learned how to ride a bike by reading a book of how to ride a bike for dummies.
Very true. Very true. Lots of skin knees.
Mm-hmm. That's what you need. And don't be afraid of it. If you can't afford to lose $1,000, then use $1.
Yeah,
Play around with $1. And if you can get that $1 to $2, then maybe you could take what you've learned and turn 1,000 into 2,000. But start with $1.
I like that. I really like that. And that you actually can start with a dollar. There are enough currencies out there that you can play around with a dollar and it'll get you fairly far.
Yeah, Alcor is one of my favorite exchanges for those low cap coins that are, pretty volatile. You could lose 20% or get 40% in a day. But that's where you're going to start to learn how to do these things and read the charts. And volatility is, you got to get familiar with it. So jumping into the deep end is definitely the best. And the low cap coins that are the lowest market cap have the most volatility. So therefore, they have the most to teach you.
I like that. That could be fun. All right, so I'm getting all the ideas here. Thank you. This has been incredibly informative. What's one thing that you have learned from someone you've met, out of all of the people that you've met, that has stuck with you over the years?
Ooh,
Bit of a tough one.
that is. I don't want to leave anybody out. um, hmm. All right. I guess I'll try to do a negative into a positive. So can you re-ask that question? Sorry, I want to make sure I answer it right.
What's one thing that you have heard or were given from someone you've met in the last few years that has stuck with you for the last few years? A bit of advice, way of something, a
Oh,
thought, an
okay.
idea?
So this isn't directly. This is, not somebody I met in person or know, but just from watching the content that they create. Um, I will have to shout out Gary V. His whole just be nice is like a really underestimated superpower. He, like that's just something that really stuck with me because I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm fucking getting emotional. Damn it. So when I was just starting out, there was so many mean motherfucking people. So many mean people. And the only people that, still to this day I remember and still to this day talk to were the ones that were nice to me. And it was like just out of the box nice, get to know you nice, give you a chance nice. You know what I mean? Not nice with conditions. It was unconditional kindness. And the way that made me feel is, and just hearing like Gary V really promote, like, just be kind, you know what I mean? Just be nice. So underrated. And I was like, dude, he was so right, because it was so impactful for me when it was done to me or for me. And the way that made me feel just made me want to give that to other people as much as possible. Just want to just be as kind to people as I can, as helping and as loving as I can. So just Gary V really being like, he's such a fucking dickhead, but his adamancy for being kind to people while still maintaining his level of dickheadedness, it's authenticity. It's truly just who he is. He's a very kind dickhead. And I think, that's without a character, without being fake. And it inspired me to just, be myself, but just be a little bit more of a nicer version of me.
I like that. How do you carry that forth then? If you have a mantra of being kind, and that's the thing. How do you carry that forward in the face of unkindness? If you're
Ooh.
in without drawing in the real life example that was just before we started talking, you're in a community and people are people, and sometimes people are grouchy, and sometimes people are not as polite as they could be. How do you redirect that to kindness without necessarily using an iron fist?
I would say patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be patient with people.
Okay. That's
You don't
fair.
have to. You don't have to fake kindness when people are being rude. You can kind of, I guess, be rude back or whatever. Just be genuine and be patient. And I've been, I'm now, friends with people that I didn't like out of the box genuinely over, like, I got to know them and didn't like them, and got to know them more and found out that we have things in common. There's things that I can like about them. So I would just say patience and time, especially when it comes to haters. I've been in this space so long, I can't tell you how many haters have become lovers. Like, I had so many people that didn't like me that now engage with me on a daily basis just because they gave me more time. And I was patient with them as well. So I think, that kind of helps, just being patient, knowing, like, maybe they're being a dick today, but tomorrow might be the day they wake up on the better side of the bed.
I like that. I definitely like that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, in closing, I do some gratitudes at the end here, and I don't have that up and prepared. So if I get 2 seconds here, I can do that. Gratitudes under the unicorn. Um, what are you grateful for in the way you
Everything.
answered away? Everything.
Everything. Um, Especially after having COVID, just grateful for my health at this point. I've seen a lot of people have a worse time with it than I did, and just because it was nothing for me doesn't mean I look at it like it will be nothing for you or anybody else. Like, I'm very grateful that I had no symptoms other than losing my sense of smell and taste. I wasn't sick. So very happy. I woke up with a really bad back today. So I'm trying to remember, like, the rest of me is still in good shape. I got to appreciate the rest of the body. And my community that stuck with me. I fucked up a few times, and as everybody does, right? And the people that have just stuck with me through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, so yeah, I guess in short, I'm grateful for my health, my wealth, and my community.
I like that. All of that. What about me?
Yeah, Sage TM said my anger is on a hair trigger. Yeah, man. I see. Sometimes I find it. It's just so. I want to say immature, but it's really not. It's just shit that we hear when we're like freshmen in high school, and we don't take it serious till we're double the age and go, "Wow, that was really sage advice." But I do find it very helpful to, if somebody's being mean to me on Twitter, I will type some really mean shit back and then just save it to my drafts or delete it. But it helps. It's like a verbal punching bag. So if you feel like you might be on a bit of a hair trigger with your anger, and it's not you, be yourself, but don't hit send. And I feel like that might be a good coping method. It helps me at least.
That's a great idea. I like that. Because, yeah, you sit on it and come back an hour later and like, oh, what was I thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go back, read the drafts, and you're like, wow, yeah, I wouldn't like myself if I said that out loud, kind of a thing. It gives you a chance to, you know, um, yeah, I guess like, virtue yourself.
I like that. That is definitely a good response. Yeah, because it's so easy in the chat to just respond with
Mm-hmm.
something that's equally explosive, and that doesn't really help.
But it does feel good, but then you feel bad afterwards, right? Like anything else. When you
Yeah,
get mad at somebody, have you ever gotten into a fist fight, even when you win? I don't know anybody that's won a fight and felt good about it,
no, it's not the greatest feeling. It's better to have any kind of discussion and resolution and, actually do a thing better.
Yep. And walking away is really good too. I feel like people don't digital detox enough. So
Yeah.
a digital detox is something I encourage people to try. 3 days, no phone, no internet, no computer, no TV, no nothing. Don't use electricity for 3 days. You'll thank me. I do it every 4 months or so. I I went on like a little bit of a long hiatus. I took like a 3 month vacation, but I needed it because the COVID pandemic had me all day, every day, 20 hours a day, sitting right here.
Yeah. And that gets real old real fast.
Yeah, it does, and it wears on you. So just if you feel like you're not feeling yourself, like you are being agitative and grumpy, or just feeling like a mean version of yourself, just tap out, because this technology can definitely draw that part of us out of each other more than it can draw the good. It draws the bad, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So when you disconnect, do you go out in nature or do you hang out at home and just do other things? What's your go-to?
I travel, so I'll go to like either a hotel or an Airbnb. Try to hang out with a friend. I was just in New York with Miss Teen Crypto, Litecoin, Randy, and Miggy Crypto, a couple people. So I got to like turn off the phone and turn on reality and just like hang out with people for a few days, which was really nice. But yeah, that's what I like to do, is just travel. And so my thing is, this is so like stupid to say, but I like going. I want to go somewhere and do nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to do nothing somewhere else.
Just to change the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I'm on board with that completely. Some of the best vacations I've had are the ones where I've gone places and done nothing.
Yeah, I feel like people really underestimate the power of doing nothing. And it's like they go on vacation, they do too much, and they come home even more exhausted than they were before they went on vacation.
Yep, there's something to be said for going somewhere and okay, today I'm going for a walk around the block.
Exactly.
Go
Yeah.
to the beach and walk back. Walk to
Yep.
the supermarket, make some food. The end.
Yeah. No headphones, no music. Listen to the traffic. Hear the birds chirp. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely helps. So at least it helps me.
Yeah, I like that. Well, thank you very much. This has been absolutely enlightening, and we should definitely talk again. Bro Bros 420 is live when?
So this is probably going to be the first time I said that out loud. I think it's looking like it's going to be on my birthday.
Oh, that's exciting. When's your birthday?
November 1st. I was born 1988, so year of the dragon. I am a Scorpio. I have all the coolest symbols and signs. It's freaking awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a day after Halloween. I'll be in New York
Yeah.
City. I'm speaking at NFT NYC. So I'm pretty much just going to utilize that opportunity to highlight what I'm doing with my community on stage in New York City. I've gotten to speak there 2 years. They didn't do one last year because of the pandemic, but I was there 2 years for the NFT NYC events. And each year they got bigger and better. And this is the year of the NFT. Like, I feel like the kids being born this year should have that Zodiac sign be like NFT. It's the year of the NFT. So if you have the opportunity to go to New York City for NFT.NYC, I wouldn't miss it for the world. If you can't afford a ticket, priceless. You can't even put a value on how much it's worth just to stand outside the doors of a conference and smoke a joint with somebody. Like, it's free. You can just hang out outside, and you couldn't put a price tag on how much value you will get just out of standing out front of that venue. I know that ticket cost is really discouraging to people, but I think, you know, if you can just get there, if you're local enough, drive or whatever, but just hang out front, you will make so many more connections than just sitting at home wishing that you were there tailgating. Tailgating, just do it.
That's great advice. Absolutely. Well,
thank you so much, Jen. This is a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. And let's talk again sometime about mid or late November and see where we're at about liquidity pairs.
Yes, absolutely. I have actually hired an entire team to help me with this. And so I have a whole lot of nerd power behind me with this project, way more than probably necessary. I just like know so many people that do so much. I pretty much called in all the favors that I've accumulated over the past 6-7 years of crypto. And I'm throwing them all at this project. And it's completely community driven. It is for the community, basically by the community. You know, I have my hands on, but it's a lot of community effort being done in this back end. So it's a community project by the community for the community. It just so happens to be, you know, mascotted around me and my likeness and stuff. But like, this is going to be something big for the people that get involved, because like, this is my legacy. It's literally my name and face on it. You know, like influencers do things, they'll like make up a name, they'll make up they don't even want it to look like it's theirs. They're like, hey, look at this thing that I found that somebody else did. And they're like, so a fan of it. It's like, it's obvious that you made it. Like, so yeah, I wanted to put that peace of mind into the community. Like, this has my face on it, it has my name on it. And for as long as I'm alive, you know, I'm dedicated to the communities of crypto, especially my own. But I do desire, you know, to hijack, I'll be real, hijack as many communities as I can to join my community. And it looks like the Shipple community's next on the hijacking. I got you, bros.
That would be good. That would be good. We could use some extra influence, outside influence.
Right.
Like that. I think that would be really good.
Call it metafluence.
Ooh, metafluence.
Yeah, I'm an influencer in the metaverse.
Metafluence in the metaverse. Ooh, metaverse meetups. Metafluence in the metaverse.
All right. Anybody have any questions or anything, or are we wrapping up?
I think we're wrapping up. I don't see a whole flood of things here. If anybody had anything in the comments, now's your chance. You've got about 10 seconds here. I see lots of conversation, but I'm not.
Your Canadian accent makes me miss Canada so much.
I don't even hear it unless I'm. No, I don't genuinely.
I love Canada. It's definitely my favorite. Like, all of it. Mostly Quebec, because they're fucking crazy out there. I'm sorry, I curse a lot. I'm so sorry, but I love Quebec. Yeah, Quebec was a lot of fun. Unexpected, considering I started at like Toronto and went across the country all the way to Quebec and back. And yeah, I was like really surprised how like it was almost like a different country.
It is different, and the culture is different, and I find that absolutely fascinating too. But it's
Morton, I see you asked about the center. I don't know exactly. Unfortunately, I have a manager now, so I don't know as much as I should know because I delegated that knowledge. But it's NFT.NYC, and I mean, I'd imagine it's probably going to be the biggest conference for NFTs this year, period. Probably next year as well. At the PlayStation Center, the one time I got to speak, they were at the, I can't remember the name. Like, they get the biggest, best venues for that conference, though, every time. It's in Times Square. That's right. Yeah, not sure of the address, Miss Teen Crypto. It's somewhere in Times Square. I'm hoping that we can see some of the Shipple community come out to NFT NYC. Again, if you can't get a ticket, I will be outside hanging out. You don't need a ticket to hang out with me.
That sounds like a good time. I'm probably not quite up for traveling, waiting for vaccines for the kids first. But
yeah, I can't even travel, man. I wanted to go to Canada. I had an apartment in Canada for like 3 months. I couldn't get in because the whole COVID thing.
yeah,
I would be a Canadian citizen right now. I was planning on sneaking in illegally and being an illegal immigrant in Canada.
We don't hear about that very often. You always hear about people who are trying to illegally immigrate to the States, but not to Canada.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to know what it was like to be an illegal immigrant. I know super white privilege or whatever, but like, I don't know how often do you get to be like an American citizen and be like, yeah, I'm going to be an illegal immigrant somewhere. Like, it just sounds so silly. I wanted to do it.
Does actually. I like it though.
Like, what do you do when you get sick? I don't know. What do you do when you do that? No, we're going to find out.
Let's find out. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, yes, there is a conference in Miami. I'm going to that. There's a conference. I see Big Ben in the chat mentioned. If not, I'm going to Miami. I will be in Miami. I'm going to Denver on 17th, 18th, and 19th for a conference as well this month. There's a lot of events happening. It's just really hard to get an eye on them because there really isn't enough, but there are a lot. Marketing is still tough.
Yeah. How do we find out about events? Do we just like hope we're in the right place and listen to all the people all the time?
I say ask about them because again, it's pretty hard. Like sometimes you won't even know there's a conference or an event till like the week of, and it's like what they've been promoting it for months just horribly. So ask is really like the best thing you can do is ask around. And especially in the Telegram community, is just ask, hey, has anybody heard of a conference coming up or this or that? And you'd be surprised how many people are aware of something that just isn't getting traction marketing wise.
Okay.
So yeah, just ask, post a tweet out what's coming up. There are people to follow. Tracy Laparulo, I believe. Tracy, she's from Untraceable, conference organizer. The Bitcoin Queen, the BTC Queen, Annalise, she organizes. Let's see. World CryptoCon is another organization. CoinDesk and Cointelegraph both organize events. So follow the organizations that organize events, and that's like another good way to kind of keep track.
Okay, cool. Well, one of these days, optimistically, we'll cross paths at an event.
I'm sure Canada will have a bunch of NFT events. There's more than enough successful Ethereum NFT projects that are coming out of Canada. I think the most successful NFT projects are Canadian based. So I'm looking forward to seeing those events and conferences kick off.
I think that would be a lot of fun and a good excuse to, go places. Yep. All right. Well, thanks very much. And I'll drop a note sometime mid-November and we'll see where we're at.
All right. Have a day.
And same to you. Have a day.